Joining me now is Texas Congressman Roger Williams, who's the chairman of the House Small Business Committee. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Your reaction to all of this criticism over the FAA?
Well, it's probably long coming. I mean, it all starts back. Remember when Reagan fired the air traffic controllers, and those of us that fly into Reagan every day, we see some of the traffic. I'm glad that we're going to have some hearings. I'm glad that we're going to talk to the people that are involved and see what happens. But it's a tragedy. We pray for those families, and we do, as Duffy says, we need to rearrange this thing and get it fixed.
I want to get your take on business, given your role on the Small Business Committee, because President Trump has confirmed that, in fact, he will institute a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada tomorrow, February 1st. Some Trump aides are still hoping to dial them back. The Journal is reporting that the administration is considering whether to put forth targeted tariffs or tax all the imports. I've been reporting that I was expecting the president to put a stay on these tariffs because he would have gotten a response from Canada and Mexico in stopping fentanyl. Here's the president yesterday.
So we'll be announcing the tariffs on Canada and Mexico for a number of reasons. Number one is the people that have poured into our country so horribly and so much. Number two are the drugs, fentanyl, and everything else that have come into the country. And number three are the massive subsidies that we're giving to Canada and to Mexico in the form of deficits. And I'll be putting the tariff of 25% on Canada and separately 25% on Mexico. And we will really have to do that because we have very big deficits with those countries. Those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
The president also said that oil has nothing to do with these tariffs. Congressman, your thoughts on the impact of these tariffs expected tomorrow?
Well, we'll see what happens. He can use it as a wedge item. The truth of the matter is these countries got to get serious about what we're trying to do. I mean, they need to help us at the border. They're not doing that. They can even come create jobs and build plants here. But, and they can adjust their prices. There are all kinds of things they can do if they don't want to cooperate on what he's trying to accomplish is get a good neighbor policy between Canada and Mexico. So if we have the tariffs and they're forced to deal with it, and we'll deal with it here, I can tell you Main Street America is ready to go. Main Street America is ready to sell. And we cut taxes, Maria. You also create more taxpayers and more opportunity to pay for cost of goods sold.
Do you expect any retaliation from Canada or Mexico with regard to their own tariffs on America?
Yeah, I think that they'll try to create some retaliation. They'll probably have some talking points. But at the end of the day, you want to do business with the greatest economy in the world. They are our neighbor. I think he's getting their attention. So we'll see how they react. I mean, if they don't want to cooperate, then that's their problem. We can adjust however we need to adjust, and much quicker than they can.
Congressman, House Republicans, as you know, wrapped up their three-day conference retreat in Florida without a clear budget plan. An anonymous GOP lawmaker told Fox News Digital that leadership needs to make a play call and start executing it. Here's Missouri Congressman Eric Burlison with me in the last hour. Watch this.
Sadly, I think that my colleagues woefully underperformed when it comes to looking for the spending cuts necessary to accommodate for the Trump tax cuts. Look, we're supposed to be finding money and cutting spending to the tune of close to $2.5–3 trillion, and we couldn't find $300 billion to cut.
So, Congressman, I know you were unable to attend the retreat, but clearly the conversation now is trying to come up with offsets to President Trump's agenda. Mike Johnson told me the bill will be on Trump's desk by the end of April. Is that realistic? And what are you going to cut to pay for $125 billion in defense or $150 billion for budget? For the border and all the rest?
Well, I mean, it's like any business. There's a time you have to cut expenses to, i.e., save a profit. I think we're going to find those spots. I think that the thing we got to get done, too, is also tax cuts to create more cash flow in our country and create more cash flow on Main Street. So I think that we can get it done. We need to get it done. I mean, the voters November 5th said that the Trump agenda is what we want to have happen. And in that Trump agenda is cutting expenses.
So you think you will come up with expense cuts?
Well, I'm a positive person, Maria, and I think until we see we can't, I think we can. And I think we'll get serious about it. But We have to cut taxes. To cut taxes, we have to cut expenses. We have to create margin, just like any other business. I believe we can do that.
Okay, we'll be watching your work, sir. Good to see you this morning. Thank you. Congressman Roger Williams joining us. Quick break.